Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamaraly. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are excited and want to know how I achieve this look with both high-end and drugstore products, then definitely stay tuned and keep on watching. Alright guys, so I decided that I wanted to film like a combination of both high-end products and drugstore products into this video. It's going to be more so of a chit chat, like kind of get ready with me, just because I want to inform you guys on how I do my makeup, because I switch my makeup products quite frequently, and I also just kind of have phases of where I do one thing and then I like it, so then my makeup routine kind of changes. Like I said, it changes quite frequently. And plus I got my brows done yesterday and my mustache done, so my face looks a lot more clearer. And then on top of that, just don't mind, I got a tiny breakout here just because it's that time of the month for me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna clip my hair and then just get started. So I have already washed my hair. I've already washed my face and I put moisturizer on. So that is that. And then my brows, nothing is on my face. So what I'm going to start with is, I always start with my brows. So the product that I'm going to use right now for brows is the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade medium brown. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling out my brows now. If you see me looking down, it's because I have like a tiny little mirror right in front of me. So I am going to do this with my brows. What I like to do is brush all of my hairs up just so that I can see that like line that's under here, and then I'll lightly start filling in along that line and in between the sparse, like the hairs where there's like little spots. And after you fill in some spots, I like to make sure that I brush through my brow just to ensure that the product is being spread evenly amongst my brow. So and then at the front, I like to just brush it upwards. And then like that, you have a filled in brow. And then I'm just gonna do the same on the other side. So once you're finished with filling in your brows, what you wanna do is you wanna clean them up. What I'm gonna use to clean up my brows is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and this is in the shade Vanilla. Just put a little bit of that on the back of my hand. And then I'm gonna take a brush. This is an eyeshadow brush, but it's flat on both sides. I find that it works really well to clean up your brows. So I'm just gonna clean them up. And what I do is I just go really close to the bottom of the eyebrow, like so. And then I also do a little bit on the top of my brow. But I just feel like it gives your eyebrow a lot better shape. So you're gonna look funny for a little bit because it's not all blended out. But As you can tell, like it just cleans everything up and makes it look more sharper, and I love it. I love doing this. And most of all, I freaking love having my brows done because it just makes the brow look so much better. My pores have been a lot more larger lately, which sucks, but whatever. I can't do nothing about it. So with the excess and leftover concealer, I'm gonna use this is a Real Techniques beauty blender, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna apply it to the eyelids as like a base for the eyeshadow. And then I'm also gonna drag the remaining, like that harsh line, the harsh line from where we clean up our brows with down as well. Like I'm gonna blend all of that together. This is really hard to do without being in front of like a big mirror. Like I have to go by this small little mirror. What I'm gonna use to set my eyes is the Studio MAC Fix powder, and this is in the shade NC40. And this like is like super ultra full coverage. It's crazy. Like I forgot that I had this product. I recently just found it in my sister's freaking makeup because she likes to take what's mine. If you have a sister or brother, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm applying that to set my eyelids like so. And then the shade that I'm gonna go in for my eyelids is my bronzer. So the bronzer that I use is the Too Faced bronzer in Soleil. I literally use this all the time. If you've watched all my makeup videos, you should know by now. And the brush that I'm gonna use to apply this onto my eyelids with is just a Wet n Wild blending brush. And this is what it looks like. And what I find is that using the bronzer shade for your eyelid gives a much more natural look, and it just ties in the whole look together. Like it makes it look super bronzy, which I love. I love a good bronzy look. So that's what I do. And then a trick for me and how I apply my eyeshadow is I actually go in the corner to where like my nose bridge starts, and like the end of my brow. So you'll see what I'm talking about if that didn't make sense to you. So I start really like in the inner corner, and then I'll start blending out. I don't know why, I feel like this helps with like a nose contour. It just gives like a shadow effect there, which I think looks good on me. So you guys don't have to do this. This is like by preference, but I love doing it. And the same thing on the other side. All right, so once you've applied your bronzer or your favorite bronzer to your eyes, what you do next, or I should say what I do next, is I put and go in with a little bit of some liquid liner. Now, if you want to do a wing, that's fine. What I've been really liking is just minimal liner, like go really, really close to the lash line. Gives it a little bit more darkness, and it does make a difference. Like you can tell that there is something there, but it's not overpowering like a winged liner would be. So the liner that I'm using, the liquid liner that I'm using, is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is the waterproof one, but you don't have to get the waterproof one. But I like doing this really close to my lash line. So I'm gonna set this down here, and if you see me go super, super close like to the camera, it's because I need to focus when doing this. I never do this on camera, guys. I'm having anxiety. right, so that's one. It's not perfect because for one, I'm blind, and then I can barely see some like going off of like a really small tiny mirror. So I'm just gonna do the other line, the other eye. All right, so that is it for the liner. It's very, very simple. Give me anxiety because I usually don't do it on camera, but then obviously you'd go ahead and you can apply lashes for the sake of this video. I'm not gonna do lashes. I'm gonna do mascara, but I've already curled my lashes. I'm gonna let the liner dry for a little bit and move on to my face makeup and then come back to do the mascara. Because I don't want to curl them again and then do the mascara because I want this to dry first since it is a liquid. But for the foundation of my choice today is the Milani Conceal and Perfect, the 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. And this is in shade number 3, which is light beige. I forgot how much I loved this foundation. And this is a drugstore foundation. So I'm gonna just take this. For some reason, like the pump doesn't work for me. I think I broke it. But I just applied some of it on the back of my palm, and then with a foundation brush, I'm gonna apply that to my skin, like so. And then to blend all of that together, I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty blender or the Real Techniques one. All right, so after you've blended out all of your foundation, as you can tell, I have my base on. I personally love this drugstore foundation. It's super full coverage and it's really buildable and it lasts for such a long time. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with my concealer, and again, I'm using the Too Faced Multi-Sculpt Concealer in the shade Vanilla. So a little goes a long way with this concealer, I promise you. It's super full coverage. I like to put it in the inner corners of my eye. I saw on TikTok, like putting it over here gives it a lifting effect, as well as up here and here. So a little bit on my chin, my nose, and then of course up here. So all the areas that you want highlighted or you want bright per se. And then what I'm gonna do is, I've always seen people use this brush and I've always had this brush, but I've used this brush for my highlight, but I currently washed all of my brushes. I do have a video on how I like clean my brushes. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I just washed my brushes a couple days ago, and yesterday when I finally did my makeup, I tried it with this and I really like it, like blending out my concealer with it. And then after you've blended the majority of your concealer with that, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over it with a beauty blender. Like, and then I'm gonna go over my eyes, my under eyes once more, but instead of with the same concealer, I'm gonna use the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. This is the yellow corrector. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this just over here. I really like a bright under eye. So I find this combination works really well. Now, after you have the concealer on, I'm gonna go in to contour, and I'm using the NYX Born to Glow, and this is a dark concealer. It doesn't say on here what shade it is, which I think is really weird. All it says is Radiant Concealer, but it's pretty dark. It's like a brown one, but I'm just gonna go in with a little bit. Again, a little goes a long way with this because it's really dark. All right, so to blend that out, what I'm gonna go and use is the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Serum Foundation Brush, and this is in the number 131. So it looks like this, and I'm just gonna blend this out. Once you've blended the brown, like the contour out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start setting everything. So obviously I love to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. If you don't have this, or you can't find one, or if it's way too pricey, I also love the Airspun translucent powder as well. I have it, but for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna use it. I picked up the one that's actually running out, but I still have a little bit more. And to apply this, I'm gonna be using the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush to apply this under my eyes. All right, so once you've set your, like the areas where you did your highlight and everything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now set the contour. So I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and with the shade Medium Cocoa, I am going to take an angled brush like so, just to apply it a little bit on all the areas where I went in with that liquid contour. While we're on the topic and conversation of contour, I am going to contour my nose, and as always, I like to go in with the same shade, Medium Cocoa, from the same palette with an angled brush like so, and then go down my nose. And then with a brush like so, I don't know what this is called, but I'm gonna blend it out with this. There's your nose contour. All right, so now that we're finished with that, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bronze my face up with the Too Faced Soleil bronzer. I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush like this. I'm gonna dab it in there and just lightly go over the same areas, because this really like bronzes your face up. Now I'm gonna go in with the Studio Mac Fix powder again. Again, this is the shade NC40. And then I'm gonna take just like a little powder. This is so dirty, but I'm just gonna go in and then I'm gonna set the areas where I put that Laura Mercier powder with it. I'm just gonna go right over it, because this is more like the shade of my skin color. So I'm just gonna set, I'm pressing it in, and I'm gonna do that with the other areas too. And I'm going to take some more of the translucent powder and chisel out under here. And I'm gonna leave that like that while we do the mascara. Or actually, I forgot about blush. So I'm using the Too Faced Apricot In the Act Blush Duo. This one's cute because it has like shimmer. All right, so now on to the mascara. I'm gonna be taking my lash curler. I'm gonna curl my lashes. And then with the mascara, the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I love this mascara. I am then gonna comb my lashes. All right, so after the mascara, obviously the last thing, I can't forget, I'm just gonna go into that Studio Fix powder and then blend that in. I'm also gonna do some highlight today. So this is gonna be weird. Actually, I don't see it, but I'm just gonna use my finger to do the highlight. I'm gonna go in with the Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills and with the shade Golden Bronze and Sunburst. I'm just gonna apply that over here. The last thing to do is obviously your lips. Can't be walking around with crusty lips like this. So what my favorite combo for my lips has been is the NYX lip pencil, and this is in the shade Natural. And then to put on top of this is the NYX Lingerie the NYX Lingerie Liquid Lippy in Push Up. All right, guys, and then there you have it. This is the completed look. So this is my like go-to look every time I have to film or just kind of have to do something that isn't just like an everyday makeup look, because this obviously isn't like everyday makeup. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this makeup look in this video. Please give me a big thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Again, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope to see you soon.